Hello. I hope everyone is doing good. Oh, special guest appearance. I think he's just gonna sit back down on the couch. Hi, hello. How are we? I'm checking in before the video because the video is a little bit late in terms of the footage. The footage is a lot of me doing my Christmas tree and then also making some gifts and wrapping them, etc. I wanted to include more of the gift making in the video, but I just had to make the gifts and I was under a deadline, aka Christmas. However, there are some gifts, like I'm gonna show you one at the end of the video where I literally finished it, like, what's today, Tuesday? I finished it on Sunday because I'm gonna see my friend this weekend. And so me and my friends like to give our presents to each other in person if we can. And I just prefer giving folks their gifts in person because I like seeing people open gifts, the gifts that I've given them, especially if it's something I've made, just like seeing their reaction, I enjoy. So I have not given gifts to two people, one of which I'm gonna show you, like I said, at the end. The other is the beaded curtain, which I now can work on, essentially. I was focusing on working on the felt, wool felt animals that I'm gonna show you at the end of the video, but now that that's done, I can focus on the beaded curtain. I don't see my friend that I'm giving the beaded curtain to until March, unless something comes up. So I have time, but really I think I'm gonna finish it. Like I'm gonna be visiting my friend in Houston this weekend, and I think once I'm back, I'll probably finish it in like 2 weeks. I already have a third of it done, which is a good bit of it, and it's just a matter of me sitting on the couch, hunkering down with some TV shows or a movie or something, and I get it done. Also, do people want like more in-depth tutorials? Let me know. I don't consider myself like a teacher, but I do like to craft with people, even if that's over the internet. But I usually just show bits and pieces of whatever I'm working on, not everything in super detail. Also, because I think that can get a little bit too in the weeds sometimes, because a lot of the stuff that I work on, I say it a million times, I follow like half instruction, half doing what I want. And sometimes it's more doing what I want than instruction, depending on what it is. And so I also don't want folks to be tied down by like what I'm doing and following that. Like, do whatever you want, but maybe feel free to take inspo from what I'm doing. So enjoy this Christmassy time footage of me doing stuff. I'll see you later. We are in the living room today because I'm gonna put up my Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is really for no one but myself, and I debated not even putting it up this year, but my motivation is usually that I use my keychain collection as ornaments, or yeah, I use almost all of it every year on the tree. There are some that maybe I'm like, okay, well, we don't need that one or whatever. It's usually some of the tinier ones, but I include all my collection on there, and I think it gives the tree a fun personal twist and kind of makes it be more part of the decor I already have versus in just like a tree. And it's a fun way to use my keychain collection and to get more use out of it. So I got some new keychains this year, and I was like, that'd be fun to see those on the tree. So here we are. The thing is, I do have to remove the bookshelf. That's the only annoying part. That is where the tree goes. What I usually do is take everything off individually. I have a storage box down here, and I put everything away, put the shelf away in the garage, and then that's where I put the tree up. The tree is the main decoration I have up, so it's not gonna be much else. I do want to make I don't have like a garland for my tree, and I would like to make a garland. It's not gonna happen right now for sure, but it will happen maybe like next week. So I'll try to include that if I've already done it once I post this, but also a star, like a tree topper. I want to try to make a leopard print one. I think that could be fun. So why not? So we're gonna try to make those separately, but for right now, we're just gonna put up the decorations we do have, which is essentially ornaments and keychains as ornaments. And first I have to take that down though, which is gonna be annoying. However, I think I'm gonna watch Frankenstein while I do this, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, because it like feels similar to like putting up a Christmas tree feels like, makes me feel sometimes like I'm in a castle, and Frankenstein makes me think of castles. Even though I don't know if it actually takes place in one or not. The only Frankenstein I've ever watched was the Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon Halloween special with Frankenstein. It's a good one. But that's the only reference I have. Not super close probably to the original story. So don't know, but that's what my mind thinks of. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully this will be fun because I'm kind of tired and I don't want to do it, but I know I'll be happy by the end of it once I'm done. So not the best lighting, but I wanted to show you where my keychain collection lives. It's like in the corner of my room, but it's on this like wire net. So what I'm going to do, I already put up the tree, is I'm going to take it just completely like that into the living room. I find this easiest because if not, I'd have to individually remove them and I use almost all of them. So for why? Make it easier on myself, I just take it over there in bulk. So that is the plan. I have been making lots of gifts, crafting away for the past like month and a half, because I started planning before. And really, I should have started earlier, slash, I procrastinated a little bit, and you know what, that happens. And it's mainly because I'm doing a lot of crafting that I haven't done before, like lots of different things, like wool felting. Felt, it's like the flat kind of felt itself. I'm gonna make a beaded curtain for a friend. All of that I've never done, so it's also a first time experience, so we're learning as we go, as I do with a lot of things. And I did my usual method of using half instruction, half, let's just figure it out. So I haven't started the beaded curtain because I ordered the wrong amount of beads. I know. My own fault. I did it to myself. Moment of silence. But I've ordered I literally just needed one more bag of beads, but they've been ordered. And I have to prioritize these other gifts anyways because of timelines. So everything should still be fine. It is the second week of December now, but we're on track. That's all that matters. So first, I'm making my friend a series of ornaments with her pets in them. She has 3 cats. This is the first fully finished complete one. So this is her cat Berry, and I just made this felt one, and then in the back, I made it so that the photo can be removed and switched out if she would like. But that's the finished one, and then I did work on the second one, and it just needs the little tie up top. But this is the second one. This cat's name is Alan, and I kind of went based off of vibes. Like, obviously, y'all don't know these cats. I know these cats. But what I put together reminded me of Barry, and I can't explain it, but this cat of my friend's gives me a hunt and a fish vibes. Like, he'd wear a trucker hat, he would hold a fish in a photo. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And obviously, cats love fish. So thought that was fun. Have a third one left, so I'm gonna bring you along for that process. It's pretty simple, mainly sewing, and then I just glued like this back tab and this front and this ribbon. Everything else is sewn. I'll show you, but it's pretty simple. and I think they're really fun. I definitely want to make some for myself, as well as I was, especially like this one and the green one. The third one I'm doing for my friend, her third cat's name is Angel, and it is going to be a blue, white, icy Christmas vibe. And because of that, it's going to look more Christmassy than these two do. Because I was like, you could just hang this on your wall any day of the year. So I might do that for myself in the future, just like make little wall hangings with felt frames. Let's go make the rest of these gifts. I'm back. I wanted to show you those wool felt animals that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I did not film any process videos for it, mainly because they took a really long time and I was working, you'll see them right now, small, like a pretty small scale. And so they just took a long time. This is my first time wool felting, and I'm not the authority on wool felting at all. This was all, again, done with, I would say, a fourth instruction, 3/4 me doing whatever I wanted. Mainly because I felt like if I followed instruction too much, I was gonna get too in the weeds and it would have taken me longer. So I was just like, do what you feel. However, I don't know much about dogs. I was just like, let me work off pictures, let me work off vibes. We'll go from there. They don't need to be realistic or hyper realistic. They just need to be, you know? And I have a problem with like perfectionism, I guess. I'm like, they have to look exactly the way I wanted them to. And they don't necessarily. They don't look horrible at all, but I just had you know, you have a vision in your head of what you want to execute, and sometimes it doesn't come out, especially if you're using a new medium. So all that to say, I watched a lot of videos about just wool felting knowledge and information in general by, I think her name on YouTube is Felts by Philippa. She's based in the UK, I believe, and she has very in-depth videos just on information about wool felting, like what kind of wools there are, because I made a tester, if you want to call him like a test wool dog, by following a little kit that I got from Daiso, and that was fine and dandy, but I didn't realize until watching these videos from Felts by Philippa that those Daiso kits, she didn't say anything about Daiso specifically, but I noticed that the wool that came in those Daiso kits was like the wrong kind of wool and not actually like good for like building bodies, etc., etc. It's more of a finishing wool, whatever. We've learned, would recommend her videos. She just has great knowledge. And then I found out, I don't know if you remember a few videos ago, maybe it was the last, I can't even remember anymore. But a few weeks ago, I went there's a physical wool felting store here. Not here in Austin, but it was like 45 minutes away. And so I went and it was great. All the materials were there in person. I could see them, touch them, which I love to do. There's not that many dedicated wool felting stores like in the US. So I was kind of shocked that we even had one near us, but I am so grateful. I wanted to show you really quickly like what the wool looks like. So the wool is literally just like fluff. It's just like fluff, and it is fluffy. That was not a good way to show you. Let me take some out. It's fluffy, and what you do is you have to buy specialized wool felting needles. You should be able to get, you know, if you're getting wool and felt, you can get it all at the same place. I got a multi-pack, but I just want to show you one of them. I haven't even used these, but so that's what the needles look like. There's lots of different ones, but they all have barbs at the ends, because the way you get wool felt to compact on itself is by into it, and the barbs push it in without picking it back up. They're facing one direction so that it'll just go in instead of out. And you just do that forever until you get a shape that you want, and then you keep going and going and going. And there's different types of needles for like creating structure, for finishing, etc. Would definitely recommend looking into that if that interests you. I just picked up the colors that I needed for the dogs that I was doing, and then some needles. And then I also used pipe cleaners for the body, like inside the, what is it called? The armature. So those are the materials I used, and then you'll see, but I added some like little stuff to them to make them a little more personalized. But here is the first one I made. For this little guy, right, they're based on my friend's dogs, and this is Atlas. That's this dog's name. I made him a little clown because he's a little silly, goofy man, and I thought that was appropriate. If I make one of my dog, it would probably be a clown too, because I always think like circus music sometimes plays in his head. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so I thought that was fitting. And then this is the second one. And this is Melly. Yes, her tail is a little nubby. That's how it is in real life. And I decided to give her this like flower necklace situation because it was more fitting to her as like her personality. She's more like, when I think of Melly, I think of springtime. I can't explain it. Her full name is Melody. And the character, My Melody, always wears like a little flower in her bonnet, because I believe she wears a bonnet over her head, that little pink hood she has. She has a flower in it. So I thought I wanted to add a little flower for Melly as well. Obviously, the brown one is bigger than the little white one. And the little white one still took me a really long time because I can't explain, but like this is firm. like I'm squishing and like there's not a lot of give. Like it's firm because you're with the felting needle. And so obviously, like I said, this one took a long time. I'm trying to estimate. Of course, like I said, I did this while watching TV, movies, etc. So I had company. And it's fine because again, I get into like this little flow state. But I feel like this guy at least, probably more though, but like at least 10 hours. And they're both not like necessarily anatomically correct, but we were more so going for the vibe. Also, my friend collects trinkets and such like I do. And so I thought this would be fun for her to have little trinkets of her dogs, customized essentially. And she loves her babies so much. So I thought this would be great. She can have them with her anywhere per se, wherever she wants to put them. I just wanted to let you know a little bit about what I did. If anyone has any questions about anything ever, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll, try to respond as best as I can because this was all new to me as well, like the felting and stuff. And so we just do and try to make good stuff. But I'm pretty proud of these, mainly because I'd never done it before. And I'm going to insert a clip of the one that I did first. The first one was so bad. But again, it was because, and I didn't know this, I thought that the little Daiso kit had the necessary materials, but no. But I hope you enjoyed today's videos and late Christmas activities, and I'll see y'all later.